Some names stand out in the competition for worst Roman emperor ever. For example, Caligula, whose heresy is legendary to this day, or Nero, who became famous for his cruelty and who, according to popular legend, did not move while Rome burned to the ground. Then there is Commodus, who surpasses all of these. Commodus, who reigned from 180 to 192 AD, almost completely ignored his official duties. Instead, he devoted himself to his harem of 300 women and a similar number of men, had gladiators perform in the Colosseum in Rome, and ordered the executions of countless enemies, allies, and family members alike. When Rome burned, he insisted that the rebuilt city be renamed in his honor. He also believed that he was the reincarnation of the mythological strongman Hercules. Commodus was 15 years old when his father, Marcus Aurelius, made him co-emperor and declared him his eventual successor, despite the fact that the young man was clearly unsuited for the job. From his earliest years he was vile and dishonorable, cruel and immoral, as well as foul-mouthed and immoral, wrote the early historian Aelius Lampridius. When the beloved Marcus died in 180, Commodus became emperor at the age of 18. He was said to have had a hand in Commodus' death, but historians today are skeptical. Barry Strauss, professor of history and classics at Cornell University and author of 10 Caesars, Roman emperors from Augustus to Constantine, describes him as the most humane, decent, and philosophical of all emperors. His son would be the exact opposite. While Commodus enjoyed the many benefits of the empire, he had little interest in doing any of the work involved. Instead, he handed it over to a series of trusted lieutenants. When he stopped trusting them, he would have them killed, often in gruesome fashion, and appoint someone else. This, along with his immeasurable wealth, gave Commodus ample opportunity to pursue his other passions, especially to watch and personally participate in gladiatorial contests. He often publicly slaughtered large numbers of people and animals, wrote Dio Cassius, another early historian. For example, with his own hands, all alone, he sent 5 hippos and 2 elephants in 2 successive days. He also killed rhinos and a giraffe. Another day, he killed 100 bears with a spear from the safety of the arena's balcony. Once he gathered together a large number of men who had lost their feet, dressed them as snakes, gave them sponges instead of stones, and pretended to be giants, killing them with sticks. He was apparently more careful with real gladiators, never killing anyone other than cutting off the occasional ear or nose. After convincing himself that he was the reincarnation of Hercules, he spent enormous sums of money convincing the rest of Rome. To this end, he removed Nero's head from the Colossus of Nero, a 30-foot bronze statue that stood near the Colosseum, and replaced it with a replica of his own head. He also equipped the statue with a club and placed a bronze lion at its feet to strengthen the comparison with Hercules. Other statues of him, as Hercules dressed in animal skins and brandishing a club, were sent throughout the Roman Empire. Commodus also decided to rename the months of the year and named them all after himself. For example, August became Commodus, October became Herculeus, and the rest referred to one or another of his many self-given titles. When fire devastated Rome in 191, he saw the opportunity to rename the city Colonia Lucia Annea Commodiana, or Colony of Commodus. The Romans would henceforth be called Commodiani, and the Roman Senate became the Senate of the Commodian Fortunate. Commodus' madness was frowned upon among the Roman elite, but few dared to challenge him publicly or lived long if they did. In 182 he survived an assassination attempt instigated by his own sister. Commodus killed him and many others in retaliation. He exiled his sister for a short time and then had her killed as well. An assassination attempt in 187 also failed, but in 192 the conspirators were more successful. 2 of his high-ranking officers first poisoned him, possibly with the help of his mistress. When that didn't work, they brought in a professional wrestler named Narcissus and then strangled him.